Hello, I'm Colonel Eric Peterson, commander of the 115th Fighter Wing, and you're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Welcome to your Hometown News. I'm April Frelke with my co-host, Joe Minnie, here in February.
Hi.
We're getting close to the end of this month.
Yes, and today marks 10 months till Christmas.
Wow, Joe.
Yes.
Merry Christmas. 10
Yes,
months.
looking forward to it.
Just getting out of the winter.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
yeah, the snow's melting.
the snow's melting. It's getting warming up.
You gotta start
and speaking
shopping.
of warm weather, we're Zooming with our guests from Florida. So let's get right into that. Well, our first guest is joining us from sunny Florida, our good friend and director at the Sparrows Nest at the Abbey, Reverend Laurie Graber. Welcome, Laurie, to our segment, and I hope you're enjoying Florida.
Yes, thank you, April.
Well,
It's hot here.
we're going to just start off. What's the vision for 2021 for the Sparrows Nest?
Well, regarding our vision for Acres of Hope Ministry, we strive to follow the mission statements that the Lord has provided us. And the mission statement for the Sparrows Nest is that His eye is on the sparrow, and we serving those the Lord places in our path, teaching them to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And our mission statement for the gathering place is leaving the legacy of our Savior by serving our community.
So with the gathering place, do you have any major events coming up for that, or at the Sparrow's Nest itself?
Well, at the Sparrows Nest, we actually are open 12 months out of the year, but at the gathering place, we're only open there from the end of April until the 1st of November. So, and yes, we have some events going on at that are coming up at the Sparrows Nest, and several that are on the calendar. And so just a few that I would like to talk about tonight is the one that's coming up here on March 20th is the afternoon tea fundraiser for Acres of Hope. And so it's Saturday, March 20th from 2 to 4 p.m. And the cost is for the tea is free. We'll be accepting donations, but we're asking people to come out and visit with us and see what we have done over the last couple of years since our open house, to visit with us and see where we're going. And if you're asking what we're raising funds for, we have 60 fluorescent light fixtures that need to be replaced and changed over from the fluorescent into the LED. So that's where this fundraising project, the funds for that will go. We also, in the first Thursday in May, which is May 6th, is the National Day of Prayer. We'll be doing a prayer walk. We're still not committed yet to having an evening program because we're not sure where the COVID vaccines will all be and what we can and can't do from that respect. And then another save the date that we would like to mention this evening is we're co-sponsoring with Diamond Tours a bus trip to the Ark Encounter in the Creation Museum. And so that's scheduled for September 13th through the 17th, and we'll be leaving the Sparrows Nest on the 13th. And it's a 5-day, 4-night bus tour, and it would cost $569 per person for double occupancy. And so we leave the driving up to somebody else. But the fee for that covers 4 nights of lodging, 8 of the meals, 4 breakfasts, 4 dinners, the admission to the Ark Encounter, the Creation Museum, and also admission to the Newport Aquarium. And then we'll also be taking in a B&B riverboat sightseeing cruise along the Ohio River. And in October, we have a Save the Date for the Ministry Leadership Appreciation Dinner, which is scheduled for Thursday, October 21st. And that will be held from 6 to 8 p.m. And that's to honor the pastors in our community because October happens to be Pastor Appreciation Month. And it gives, we partner with the chaplain at the State Patrol, and we provide a catered meal and fellowship and worship time for those that are attending, and we have open seating for 70 people. We just, as we get closer, we'll be going out and asking for reservations for that. But some of the other things that the Lord has placed on our agenda for 2021 out at the Sparrows Nest is we have a couple of women's retreats. We have some quilting groups. We're going to be the site for the Monroe County Home and Community Education Association, their conference in the fall. We're doing a couple projects with the 4-H junior leaders. And some of the things that we're still in the works to finalizing our events are a senior day luncheon, veterans appreciation breakfast, and a veterans program. And we're still in the information gathering stages for the veterans program, but that looks to be very promising. We have a couple of day events that we're going to be kicking off as new events this year, and that would be, one would be a Sewing for Others, and it's a mission project where we would be sewing and making pillowcases for a battered women's shelter and baby blankets for that. Another day event would be knitting or crocheting for others, and then the mission project donations would go to breast cancer survivors, and then making hats, mittens, and scarves for the local school kids. So,
wow.
Laurie, I'm listening to you go through all that and then tying that into your mission statement of serving your community, and you are fulfilling that. So congratulations to all that organization. And I think it's real important our viewers can reach out to, where can they find more detailed information to attend, like the women's retreat or the sewing or some of those things, Laurie?
Well, they can contact me directly at Acres of Hope at yahoo.com, or my phone number, which is 661-406-1721, or they can go to our website, which is sparrowsnest-abbey.com, and we'll provide them with a lot more information and more details with regards to any of those events. And we're looking always for volunteers, because some of the things that we also do are youth and teen service projects. We have 2 scheduled this year with the teens out of Hanson. They come down and they serve at Children's Vision in Bangor, and then they come and they stay with us overnight, and they do a half-day service project with us, and we do 2 service projects with the Fort McCoy Challenge Academy as well. Those are on our schedule this year to accomplish.
Awesome, Laurie. Hey, we're running out of time. It looks like you're going to have a very busy 2021, and we look forward to hearing more about it. But up next, we got Tomah Fire Department, who's celebrating its 150 years of service, and joining us next is Fire Chief Tim Adler. And just a reminder, the catering for the cast and crew has been provided by Marco's Italian and American Grill in Warrens. Enjoy a fun and relaxing atmosphere at Marco's. But first, we want to thank our program sponsors. We'll be right back.
Hometown News is brought to you by Oakdale Credit Union, Hardware Hank in New Lisbon, The Fun Company Game Room Store, and the Little Cottage Home Decor and more in New Lisbon.
Relax at Marco's Italian and American Grill in Warrens, Wisconsin.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
What's the more in the Little Cottage Home Decor and more? Fashion. Shopping is fun at the Little Cottage. Update your look and discover more at the Little Cottage Home Decor and more, New Lisbon.
At Tomah Health, our rehabilitation team specializes in physical therapy for injuries, chronic pain, post-surgery, and sports injuries.
Here at Tomah Health, I provide quality care with patients by taking time to spend one-on-one.
Tomah Health offers the latest technology and aquatic therapy to improve patient outcomes and ensure a better quality of life.
Our rehab services department truly cares about treating people as a whole and getting them to be the best version of themselves.
Tomah Health offers personalized rehab therapy close to home.
This is Jason Gerke, and this is Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Tomah firefighters have been fighting fires in our community for 150 years. And to help celebrate that milestone, we have the current Fire Chief, Tim Adler, in studio. Welcome, Chief Adler, to the studio. And what's happening with 150 years? How are you guys celebrating?
Well, it's 2021, right?
Yes.
So that means the Tomah Fire Department's 150 years old, and we're going to have a big celebration.
What's the starting date of the?
It's going to be a one-day event, and it's going to
go back 150 years.
Oh,
What's the original?
The original start
date?
date was November 1st of 1871.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're gonna be celebrating all year and getting ready for.
Okay, now back to that. Back to the fun stuff.
So we got a big one-day celebration plan that's on August 28th. So please save the date.
Okay.
We're just starting to release bits and pieces of information that are gonna, get out to the community and all the different people that are interested in it. We've actually reached out to different groups. We're trying to have a large fire truck parade that's going to come down through downtown Tomah, including antique equipment all the way up to the modern fire apparatus today. So I actually reached out to a gentleman. He wants to bring a team of horses and an 1855 steamer wagon, and he's coming from New York City, he said. So we're hoping to have a couple hundred units and make it a big family day for everybody. So.
Well, that kind of leads into my next question. It's like, so over 150 years, how has fighting fires changed?
How has firefighting changed in 150 years? Well,
at least in relation to Tomah.
I can tell you what hasn't changed. What hasn't changed is volunteerism, because water doesn't put fires out. It takes people to do that, right? So the processes have changed. It went from manning buckets to getting water out of wells to now getting water out of our city water grid system, which includes our fire hydrants and goes into our engines, and now we pump water through hoses. So,
who was the first fire chief?
His name was A.E. Leak.
Leak?
And so the first 25 years there was actually a fire warden.
Okay.
And it was for like the township, because obviously the city wasn't a city at the time. It was more of a village. And then in 1896 they elected a fire chief, and they were only on a term of maybe 1 to 2 to 3 years. And so there was like 10 elected chiefs, and then in 1923 they started appointing fire chiefs. So
are they still doing that? Like you were appointed?
Yes, and I'm actually the 5th appointed fire chief ever in the city of Tomah. So, from 1923 to today, we've had 5 appointed fire chiefs.
Wow, so they've stayed in that position for quite a while then.
Yes.
Any women in that list? Do you know?
Not as fire chiefs, no. And we've just had a few women over the past 10 or 15 years that have been firefighters. So, and I got one on right now.
So speaking of, since you've been in, how long have you been in Tomah's Fire Department?
I've been with the city fire department for 32 years now.
Okay, so in those 32 years.
Congratulations. Thank you for your service, right?
Okay. What have you seen, like, generations come through?
I've seen a lot of generations, and it continues on. If you look back through our records, there was, you could see the name Steele or different names come through, with a lot of different generations, and the one that speaks right now is the Larkin family. We've had 3 Larkin generations that are actually on right now. I have 3 generations. I have grandson, father, and grandfather all on right now. So.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's
and they could probably have cousins in there maybe too.
Absolutely.
And uncles.
We did. There was.
So it's kind of a family business.
It is a big family, is what it is. I mean, these people aren't here to make a paycheck. They're here to help their community, and That's what they're good at.
And it takes a whole family, because you guys got to leave the house at moment's notice, and you're leaving spouses behind to, hold the bag while you're gone.
That
right?
happens. Yep. 3 o'clock this morning we got called out.
Oh, wow.
And the night before it was 11 o'clock. So sometimes they're just nuisance calls like these two were, but yep.
So that's got to have really good support structure then.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we try to keep it a family thing today. I mean, we bring the wives and the girlfriends and the kids down, and we try to keep really family orientated. So
what's up in the future for the Tomah Fire Department? Any future plans?
We'll continue to grow as the community grows. I don't know if you want me to touch base. We're trying to build a building, right?
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can say that. Is it private? Is it confidential?
No, we talked about it. We're in the works of trying to acquire some land, and we got a design that we're looking at, and we're just waiting for things to kind of take its place here, and we'll hopefully have some big announcements this year, a little bit down the road here. So
maybe you can announce something on November 1st. The original.
We're actually hoping maybe before that. But
okay. Well, thank you, Chief, for joining us, and thank you so much for your service.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks. You.
Well, up next, Tomah's new City Administrator, Bradley Hanson. Stay tuned.
What's the more in the little cottage home decor and more? Fashion. Shopping is fun at the little cottage. Update your look and discover more at the little cottage home decor and more, New Lisbon. This hot tub is so relaxing. The stress of the week just melts away.
Hanging out with friends is fun.
And we have so many reasons to get together.
My Traeger grill is the difference between a good
and an amazing barbecue.
The Fun Company Game Room Store
is where the fun begins.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
I'm Major John Judy Hudock, United States Marine Corps. This is Lynxx 24 connecting you to the community.
Our next guest is Tomah's new city administrator for the very first time on Lynxx. So please welcome to our program, Bradley Hanson. Nice to have you with us, Brad. Congratulations on your new position.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
So with taking over the reins, first, let's start with, tell us about yourself. How'd you get to Tomah?
Like, who are you?
Yeah. Well, where to start, right?
Right.
You want the long story or the short version? Oh, that's right.
We'll take about a minute.
Right?
Yeah.
We'll cut you off.
I'm originally from, born in Anoka, Minnesota. Lived in the tundra of Thief River Falls. So this is not quite strange to me. This is kind of spring weather, right?
Yeah.
But my family moved to Colorado, so I was out there until about 2013 when we moved to Iowa, my family and my kids, and worked out there, and through Nebraska, and then Wisconsin, my first job in Mondovi, Wisconsin, and then had the opportunity to come here in Tomah. Been by here so many times, going down to Madison or other things for training, so it was a very nice community. I love the scenery. Mondovi was very beautiful as well, but it's really a nice community here. Plus, you have the amenities. You don't have to travel for them.
Right. So we are in the middle of a lot of good places to go. So.
Absolutely. And not to mention, I'm really looking forward, hopefully this summer, to all the events that they have planned here. So
you've been building up your city administrative career work all the way up to this point, right?
Yes.
So what is your vision? Can I ask you that? Or are you coming into someone that had a vision already that you've got to kind of go with? Or how does that work for a new position like yours, Brad?
Well, one, this is the largest community I've worked for, so it's really nice, a good step. And I'd like to retire from here. That'd be my goal.
Oh, that is a great,
So when you come into a new community, you kind of really, in the first couple months, it's just learning. Sometimes you have to hit the ground running, so there are a few things that I'm hitting the ground running on. So doing some corrective measures to escape some risk that the city could be up for. And so we're trying to improve those, improve the quality, and also the perception of our, I'm a former Walgreens manager, so I believe in customer service, you know, the old adage, undersell and over-deliver, but also it's that perception, so we want to be able to make sure that...
The Tomah brand.
Absolutely, and make sure that everybody says that at the City of Tomah we work together, we're not divided, and we're financially strong, and that's my accomplishments over another couple other communities is improving their finances, and so that's what we look to do.
So it's like a dual thing. You're like hitting the ground running, but also taking it all in and trying to see where everything's at.
And making those decisions, logical decisions of what can I focus on now, what do I have to put on my list that'll have to come up later.
Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, well, I was just wondering, any kind of projects that are coming up that you think are going to be exciting for Tomah?
Absolutely. I think that one of the most exciting is, I know it's been talked about a long time, you just had Chief Adler on, is the fire department. So, you know, we can't discuss much, but we are working on something, you know, to try and find a lot. And we think that'll be very beneficial to the community in more than just the fire department way, if everything comes together, of course.
I mean, the idea is to consolidate and try to get everybody under one roof and just be able to maximize the service to the community.
And hopefully do better with the response time, since hopefully we can locate right in a nice
central location.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, Brad, as a city administrator, for some people, like they hear that word, like, oh, I kind of think of like a principal administrator. What are key parts of your job, maybe that our viewers wouldn't know that you're involved in?
Well, first off, the misnomer is I'm not sitting around waiting for anybody to come in my office to help them out. Okay, that's everybody likes to think that that's public employees, right? From my perspective, my role is as economic development, so I'll meet with businesses, and I also handle personnel issues, and, you know, looking at the budget, overviewing the budget, conducting those intermittent audits. So I'll review payroll, making sure we're not overpaying, underpaying someone, everybody's getting paid correctly, making sure the invoices are accurate. And then, of course, working on policies, working on resolution and ordinances. Budget is also normally my responsibility.
It's a lot of finance.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, because you're steering the direction of Tomah through the city council, correct? And is that kind of your goal?
I provide data to the council and all the avenues that could be, hey, here's all the benefits, here's all the detriments, and helping them and then I'll make a professional recommendation. It's my recommendation. Not always does council follow that, and that's okay. It's our job to then take their direction, whatever it is, and fulfill it to the best of our abilities, whether it be the city administrator role or helping out another department that may be overworked. That's another thing that I do. I've had already some individuals saying, Brad, I can't do this, don't have the time, and asking some information or stuff, and I'll research it. I have an open door policy, so if my door is open, come on in. Don't ask me if you got a minute, because the answer is going to be no, but I'll still say, come on in, let's talk. And as some people have already mentioned to me, you're there at 6:30 or 7:30 at night, and I go, yes, especially when you're new, you're learning the system. Sometimes I get more done in an hour or two after work than I do in the 8 hours.
When the phone stops ringing.
And no more emails, yes.
Anything that stood out to you when you came to Tomah and you were meeting people or businesses or something, like anything like was like, wow, like an aha moment or something that stood out to you, Brad?
Well, I'd say definitely the first thing I noticed is your communities have this, again, we tend to mention, I think, a little off camera, the amenities here, right?
Yeah.
It's just amazing what you have here, and the residents. So you're getting a lot of people moving in and out. So I think that's economic development wise. We need to bring more homes here so that people won't want to commute. I think the best thing I really do like is the activities. I mean, national tractor pull, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
So and bringing people from all over the world even to participate. Hopefully we can get them back this year. We'll see. But I've actually in Mondovi, a gentleman up there actually tractor pulls all the time and has some big rigs, so I'm looking forward to seeing him here. From Mondovi, obviously, that connection. But yeah, not just that, you know, again, downtown Thursday nights, that's going to be fun. And then can't forget about the fire department celebration. August 28th, I think you mentioned that?
Yes.
August 28th. We just want to plug that for everybody,
That's
right?
exciting stuff for Tomah coming up.
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations on your new job, and we'll be in touch with you throughout the year and see how things are going.
Sounds great. Thank you very much.
Well, positive support is Next on the latest for our encouraging thoughts, stay with us.
What's the more in the little cottage home decor and more? Fashion. Shopping is fun at the little cottage. Update your look and discover more at the Little Cottage Home Decor and More, New Lisbon.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
Hardware Hank knows you have projects, lots of important projects, from paint to plumbing, electrical, and yard maintenance. We have the area's largest selection of Milwaukee tools. Hey, it's what the pros use. We even have an in-store chainsaw sharpening service. It's time to build your property's value with Hardware Hank New Lisbon.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
You are watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to your community.
Welcome back to the end of winter, and winter can be hard emotionally, so giving support is important for our overall mental health. For this encouraging thoughts, Joe and I want to talk about the positive support, and I want to call it the invisible support we can offer. And we're going to start talking real quickly, Joe, about Margaret Mead.
Sure.
So this goes back almost 15,000 years to the creation of civilization. Okay. So supporting each other. So Margaret Mead came to the conclusion, a very famous anthropologist, yes, that a skeleton, the healing of a femur bone in a skeleton was the first sign of civilization.
Because they addressed it, right? Instead of like bleeding to death and just...
Someone had to help that femur bone, because that's a big bone in your body. Right. That's your leg bone.
And it's not just like it fused. It was actually put back and healed.
And healed correctly. So that means somebody was there to support that person's healing. And so
it's a civilized thing to do.
The very civil thing to do, and get that person. So we're talking about support right now, and support can be a lot of different things, right? Like, what do you think of when I say give someone support?
Well, there's like emotional support. There's like encouraging support. You know, depends on whether you're their family, with your friends, or just acquaintances, or work, coworkers and stuff like that. So there's all sorts. I think there's different categories, but I know you deal with different support issues all the time.
Yeah, well, as a school counselor, but I found a study, it was really interesting, about support, and there's something called invisible support.
Okay.
That is there. People are supporting each other in a way that they didn't know, and they're finding that invisible support is almost the number one thing that helps people cope with mental health stuff. So here's an example of invisible support. So say I work in a district or a school or office, and somebody's always making the coffee in the morning. I come in and the coffee's hot, ready to go.
It's always made.
It's always, I don't know who did it.
There's no coffee fairy.
Right, but someone's doing that. Or I'm in my house or something, and like, I'll give an example. My kids are online in college and working all day long, and they'll make their own dinner and stuff, but I'll say, hey, I'll do the dishes because I know they got homework to do, and I'm supporting them, but it's not invisible, but I kind of walk in and start cleaning up. And you're not really saying what you're doing, you're just kind of in there doing things to help people out.
Right, it's like, helping out around the house without having to be asked.
Yes.
It's like, and it's not just around the house, it's just, at wherever you're at. It's like if things are happening because you're doing it and you're not seeking credit, you're actually helping and supporting whoever you're surrounded by, right?
Yes, and psychology today also tells that when you give support to somebody, you feel better.
Well, sure, it's that Good Samaritan aspect.
It is, giving. So, all right, okay. Well, we want to thank our viewers for staying with us tonight, and thank you for watching your Hometown News, where we're connecting you to the community.